Hello friends, I'm Passable, and today we're going to do something completely different. You ever do that thing where you go shopping late at night and buy things because it seems like what you really want? Well, I did that, and I arrived at my house a beautiful package of my new tattooing machine. Check it out. Listen. Oh, music. So, quite a number of years ago, I learned how to use a tattoo machine, and that being my first and probably one of my worst tattoos is still there 20, oh my gosh, more than 20 years later, we'll say. We won't do the math exactly because that still makes me old enough. And so I have some other tattoos, but that's not what we're doing. Maybe we'll do a show and tell some other time. You'll notice I have no eyebrows. My natural brows grow way too close to my eyes. They're not feminine. And, well, I simply don't like them. I like to draw them up, actually above a little bit. But if I do drag, I draw them way above. If I am just in the day, I draw them at the very top of where the hairs are. And I've plucked below by at least half of the width to, edge them up. But drawing eyebrows on every day is, it's like makeup. I don't know, it's like work. No, I don't know what it is. It's just a thing that you have to do if you don't have your eyebrows in the right place, and plenty of people do it, and that's just fine. But we have the technology. I've been trying to convince myself for a week, well, I haven't done a tattoo in probably 18 or more years. And so I remember how to set up my gun. I've got the depth proper. I've wiped myself down with alcohol for sanitary reasons. I'm not wearing gloves because I'm not going to get hepatitis from myself. Yeah, I have my materials set out in front of me. I'll show you them as they become relevant. I got my little power supply right here. Very simple. A little foot pedal on the floor so I can just turn this sucker on and off. And there's no way you can see, well, you can see the little buzziness. And that makes the needle that's in that little hole shoot out the tip there. And the depth, my original tattoo training came from a book by Huck Spalding, which I don't know if it's still available or not. And they said nickel shader dime liner. So that would give you the contact gap and approximate depth, although the adjustment on the depth is still relevant to the angle and such thing. There's a set screw or a wing nut there that you can adjust out where the tube is on it. Anyways, don't try this at home. If you've never had someone who knows what they're doing work with you, it would probably be a very bad idea. I know that the first time I did a tattoo, I did scar myself quite a bit. There's things that can go wrong that are no joke. So, don't try this at home. But I'm going to, because sometimes I think I'm not very bright. The first thing I want to do is, I mean, these are going to be pretty permanent, similar to although microblading, instead of using a little needle, they use a blade, from what I understand. Lasts, they say, a year or more, but the tattoos I've done are still there after 20 years, so they're pretty permanent, and I'm not doing anything different to make it less permanent in this particular. So I want to do a good job because it's on my face where people will see. Now, if I don't like where they're at, I will be able to use some concealer and draw them on someplace that I do like. But they're going to be dark, and sometimes darkness can be hard to cover up good. Anyways, I don't really want to have to go and get them lasered right back off, because then there'll be scarring and the whole deal. I'm not using black, I'm using brown, which is, it's actually not even a very dark brown, but it'll show up brown. Now, one of the things that you need to know if you're going to have a tattoo on your face is that you really need to use sunblock for the rest of your life. Your face gets exposed to the most sun, and burning your tattoos is not a very healthy thing to do. So skin cancer is like a concern, because you're going to absorb more radiation that way. And, oh, look, I can do that thing with my head. So, those are your fair warnings. Just don't do it. It's like the beginning of Jackass, where they tell you, like, don't do this. But I'm gonna let you watch, because that's what I do. I'm Passable. And if it's really bad, you can laugh at me, or with me, honestly, because if it goes really bad, I'll laugh at myself. Here we go. Alright, because I'm not completely insane, the first thing I'm going to do is use a regular makeup pencil, and I'm going to put some guideline marks, just to give me an idea of where I want things, and make sure I'm happy before I seal my fate. Oh yeah, this is gonna go perfect. Easy. I'm not gonna regret this at all. So, I could just fill in. I could just make an outline and fill it in like a maniac. Or I could make strokes, which I'm going to go with strokes. Because I'm not a maniac. So the tattoo inks come in these tiny, tiny little cans. Little bitty. Yeah, these are probably the cheapest, most garbage tattoo. It probably won't stay anyways, because it's such junk. But, alright, so we never dip the tattoo gun in the ink, because then you need to throw it away. At that point, it's one use. So what you want to have is these tiny, tiny little plastic ink cups. You put your ink in the cup, and you work out of the cup. So you never ever want to backwards contaminate your stock, because you don't want to make people sick. Now right now I'm only working on myself, so it's not a concern, but it is a concern, isn't it? Don't we want to always do what's, most reasonably towards safety? Woo! I scared the heck out of myself. I bumped the trigger. Now this will be the first time a tattoo gun has hit my skin since before 2000. Want to load the needle up with a little bit of ink. You never want to bury the tips of the needle into the bottom of the cup. And then we're going to get nice and close to my mirror, and we're going to start back just a little bit. Ooh, it stings a little. All right. There's the initial moment of truth. Did we actually get any ink in the skin? We didn't stretch it, right? So one of the things is if the needles aren't like really, really sharp, which they are really, really sharp, they're going to hit the skin, and the skin is going to bounce, and then this needle goes back in, and the skin just has that elasticity where it bounces, where it does tip it, but it doesn't hit it hard enough to penetrate through a couple of layers of skin. It has to get underneath the dead skin, that's the surface of your skin, into the living, growing tissue and it needs to plant the ink in there at the depth so that it's not going to move. And we don't know if that's what's happening. I might just be putting a little mark that's not going to stay. And so it feels like it's going to stay. Wow. Whew. Okay. Let's see what we have. Tiny, tiny little lines. Check them out. Mostly blood. I don't think I put much ink into anything. Let's do the other side. Why not? I'm adventurous. Or an idiot. Or both. It really is up to your point of view. I've got to use the other hand to be able to make the same motions on the other side. See how that goes. Ow! Hurts more over here. A little bit more ink on there. I guess the backhand effect is going to work better for me. Woohoo! That stings! Woo! Feels good, actually. A little nice little tingle there. All right, folks, what do you think? Done. Perfect. Let's see. Do you think they're too dark? I'm teasing. This is obviously, as you're tattooing, the ink floats all around, and then you wipe it, and the only stuff that stays is the stuff that's impregnated into the skin. So, all right. Ow, that stung. Ah, my face. Come on. Don't be a baby. It doesn't really hurt that much. So, I think that's all I'm going to do today. Maybe I'll hit it one more time. I'll see if there's any parts that are really uneven. Go back. But I don't think you want to see all that. Yeah, it's not going to be fun. We've already got 13 minutes of me zapping my face. So, in the interest of generalized commercialization, if you want to support my channel, like and subscribe. Share with your friends. If you think this is insane and want to laugh at me together, that's great. I don't mind. If you know who Captain Sparkles is, if you know him personally especially, let him know that I love him. Oh my god, he's so cute. He just came out with a new clothing line, and he was like flexing in his new clothing line. Oh, yummy. Just saying. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He makes Minecraft videos, and he has some pretty cool cars, and he lives out probably in LA. And I'll never get to meet him, but, you know, celebrity crushes, what can you do? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Alright, so here's after some cleanup. I wiped both sides and put some wound dressing on. And I gotta be honest, I don't think anything is gonna stay. It's very light. This lighting is very bright. I mean, if you look at my lips in comparison to my eyebrows, and most of the redness is just from the irritation of the skin, not so much from the ink itself. So but I don't want to tear myself up too much. I'm going to wait for it to heal, and I'm going to try again. In the meantime, I'm not going to have any eyebrows for a couple of days, and then I'll be able to put some makeup over it and make it the way I wanted it, just like I always do. So we'll see how it goes. I will give you an update, but until then, you can laugh at me. Thanks for watching.